Could you use a quick tip daily? How about a tip that can impact your day? My name is Rafael. Join me as I bring you tips by experts around the world. These experts have shared their knowledge and wisdom with me and will directly share them with you. Make sure to subscribe, like, follow, and comment, and I would love for you to become part of the New Tip Daily community. Good morning. Happy Monday. I hope you're doing exceptional. I hope you had a great couple of days, either to rest, to catch up, or spend time with your family. Today, I want to talk to you about how words matter and the importance they represent to who you are as a family person, as a business person. And when I say family, I mean anyone who is in your circle of sphere, if you will, of influence, anyone who matters to you, whether they're actual friend or blood relative, your words matter. How you speak to another individual can make an impact on their lives. It can make an impact in your life. How do they assist you based on how you treat them or the words you use to speak with them? Do you belittle them? Do you uplift them? That's the key. How do they perceive you based on the words you use? That's let's get into it. That's the nitty-gritty. The words you use will impact everyone in your life. Anyone who listens to your words. You're listening to mine, so I hope I impact you and help you understand that the words that come out of your mouth, have tremendous value if you choose for them to have value. Every day we have a choice. We wake up in the morning. The first thoughts, words, internal words, if you will impact your day. How are you? Hey, Vernon. Thank you for joining me, buddy. Hope all is going exceptional in your life. Thank you for being here with me. Mandy Robinson, good morning. So the words we do use, they impact. So that first thought, those are internal words. One of the things that I'm going to ask you to start doing is to ask for your instructions the first thing you do in the morning. Yes, words are so powerful. And it can create so many beautiful things or hurtful things. So the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is to ask for instructions. Ask God, whoever you believe in, what is it that you need me to do today? Give me instructions. How should I live my life today? Let's not wait till tomorrow to live our lives. No, no, no. Paul, my friend, how are you? Exceptional that you decided to say hi. I'd love to hear your comments, Mandy. Always here to make comments. I love Mandy, how she shows up. Your words make a difference, right? How we impact another person. But let's forget all the negativity that we heard, maybe even yesterday, and start fresh every morning. I asked this morning, Lord, how should I live my day today? During the night, I got a call. I had my phone on silent, so it did not disturb my beautiful communication with God and my subconscious and so forth. So this is important. I got a text message in the middle of the night after I did my prayers, did my shower, read the Bible, read my book. I said, "Let me see what has happened while I was sleeping." And would you know it? It was a client who said they could not make the appointment we have for Tuesday. And one of the messages that I received when I asked for guidance, what are my instructions for today, is to help as many people as I can and to be there for them. So the question that was asked, can I accommodate them today because they can't come tomorrow? They didn't want to cancel, but they had no choice. Yet they wanted to know if we can accommodate them today. So I reached out to my staff early this morning and I said, can you make this happen? I don't know yet if it's possible because I do have a very, very full schedule, but I said, let's do whatever we can to make it happen. Please let me know as soon as you can. And they're figuring things out. So if I can shift things around and I can make it happen, I will, because it's my duty, it's my instructions. And when I meet with this client, it's important how I interact with them because I need to uplift them. Sometimes they come to me and they're in such a terrible mood because something has gone bad. But sometimes they come and say, I am having a great day. And so we celebrate that. But on days that they come in and go, oh, I'm having a terrible day, then I explore with them why. How can we change that? It's all about the words we say to ourselves. If we start saying, I'm having a terrible day, it's not going great. Those are words that we're using on the spot to say, well, I might as well keep having a terrible day. Instead of saying, even to yourself, what I wanted to happen didn't happen, or this unexpected thing happened, but let's make the next steps better. Let's go from here. Let's start fresh right this second. Once I hear bad news, handle the bad news, but don't stay in the bad news. So these are the words we need to use for us so we can be an inspiration to others. And now let's say you have an employee. How do we speak to them? Yes, Mandy, thank you. We do attract what we do put out. So how can we have a great day? Yeah, you have to lift yourself up. But now let's talk. Like I contacted one of my employees early this morning, and first I texted and I said, "Call me when you're up," because I get up. By the time people get up, I'm usually having lunch. But when they reached out, I let them know what was going on, and at first they said to me, "No, we can't." And I said, "Okay, how come?" We have this, we have that, this is going on, da, da, da. And I said, okay, let's not rush. Let's fully evaluate if we can fit this client before the other client. And once we had a discussion, they were on board. But had I yelled at them, had I spoken in a way that would not be positive, listen, they just woke up, they called me, right? They did what I asked. They had their coffee, and so it's the approach that I took is how can we help this client? That's that was it. That was the best way. Um, Thank you, Mandy. Thank you for being here. Enjoy your day. So when we don't see an opportunity, we need to find out if we're not looking at the bigger picture. Maybe there's a way to engage, and the words we use, the words I use with my staff was is there a way? Why don't we look instead of jumping, instead of saying we can't? Say, what if we could? What if we could? What if we can impact them? So the words we use not only impact us, but they impact our employees, they impact our clients, they impact our community, even even driving. I was in front of somebody today, and they didn't signal. They just got in. And so I said, huh, I wonder what they're thinking. Is that the way they normally drive? Or this is the big or did they forget? And they were in front of me for a while. We switched lanes and so forth, and they didn't. But the last time that they switched lanes before, I saw them signal. And I said, huh, maybe they are listening to me. Maybe my thoughts reached them. Maybe they understood that signaling is another way of communicating. Letting someone know you're going to switch lanes so that they don't cut you off, they don't do anything. So they signal, I got behind them, and then traffic moved. We're in 3 lanes. And so I signaled, moved over, and passed them. Then I looked in my rearview mirror and I saw them shifting over and they were signaling. So sometimes what we may, had I said negative things like, oh, blah, 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 they're a terrible person, and maybe give the finger or whatnot, it's not positivity. So what if what I did worked in their favor? What if I actually had pulled up next to them at one point and I kind of looked over and she was busy and she was doing things. I don't know if she was putting on her makeup or whatnot. But she didn't see me watching her. I just kind of looked really quick and then I looked forward. And it was very interesting. Our signal speaks a lot. It's a nonverbal way of communicating. And I know I'm talking about words today, but your smile is a nonverbal communication. Your face. Sometimes we need to tell our face we're excited. because we may not be showing it, my friends. We may not be showing it. Hey, Spencer, thank you for joining me, my friend. We may not be showing with our face how we feel. We might have like, we're so serious, and you can be serious and smile. I um I love smiling because it shows someone else that maybe I'm interested in what you're talking about, and it puts a smile on my face. I said to a friend of mine, I said, "Listen, you've done a lot of shows. You've done a lot of. They even have their own podcast." And one time I said, "I barely ever see you smile on your show." I said, "Are you mad?" I know they were not mad. Said, "Of course not." They became defensive. And so here's what I said. I know, and I said I said that on purpose to you. And the reason I say it is because people who don't know that you're not mad, you look like you're not happy at all, not even for a second. And I know that you have a warm heart. I know that you love people, but your face does not reflect it. So that crack a smile, especially when you're interviewing someone. This is a friend who interviews people on his shows. So I said, it's okay to be serious. The important thing here is to show that, yes, you're engaging with them, but maybe you're smiling. You're happy that the other person's on your show with you. I haven't watched his shows lately, and I'm wondering, I'm going to go take a look. I'm going to look at one of his shows and see how he's doing and see if he even listened. Because you can give advice, and it could be heartfelt advice. But if they didn't feel it was heartfelt, if they didn't feel like it touched them, or it didn't matter to them, then it's not going to make a difference in their lives. So consider, anytime we give advice, don't ever expect your advice to land or to be taken as an instruction. After all, it's only advice. Even, here's the key, even if they ask for your advice, that does not mean, listen to this, it does not mean that they're listening to it. They may be just asked for your advice just to gather information. And maybe they take a little bit of your advice and take somebody else's, and then they put it together and create their own concept. This is why I love this show, because it's tips. It's tips on different aspects of our lives. Sometimes on Fridays, I have a guest who comes on and shares their tips, their ideas. So consider today's tip. Think, think on the words you use, the impact that they will have on those who hear them. This is why I love communication so much. I've been reading a lot more books lately than I have ever, and it's such an incredible journey that I'm on right now. And I got to tell you, I have a new show coming out, and it's going to be with Marion Pageant, and it's going to be based on books and the authors who wrote them. And the name of the podcast is the Spark Books Podcast. and we're going to be bringing you incredible authors, and we're going to feature their books, and we're going to go into chapters in their books, and they're going to discuss it, what even inspired them to write the book, and what is their full message. And it's going to be a great show. So I encourage you. We're going to start this, I believe, January 27th. The reason we want to take a little bit of time and putting it together is because we're gathering all the different authors out there who want to bring their book to not only my network, but the network of 6 million people. So words matter. The written word, woof, it's so powerful. Did you know that having a book can impact more people than you ever imagined? And I know that so many people keep asking me for my book. So I've written and I've written and I've written. And lately I've been writing so much more. But my full books are not ready to be out there. They will be in time. And if they never come out, they're still written, and my family can eventually read them. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I did write a chapter on a book that's coming out, I believe, this week. And it was by a lot of coaxing. I didn't want to write, to put it out there in someone else's book. And I've been asked so many times to do a chapter in a book and here and there and so forth, but I have not. And this is the first time I'm doing it. And it was because Marianne Pageant asked me to be in one of her books. So I wrote a chapter in her book. And when she read my chapter, she's like, oh my gosh. She believed it to be powerful. But I took care in how I wrote this chapter. And she said she was sending it to her publisher, but nothing had to be changed because I took the time. I wanted to impact in a way that it would resonate with those people who needed to hear it. So your words, your actions, your voice, your gestures, they mean so much. I encourage you to think about the words you speak to your spouse, your partner, your children. I started reading a book, and the words that this child's parents spoke to them have haunted their whole lives, have haunted them their whole lives. Even today, it was it was negative words, words that hurt them, but words that inspired them to be more than, words they would never utter to their own children. Hurtful words. This person has impacted millions of people because they took the hurtful words that was said to them as a child and decided to change the world in a positive way. Wow. And they vowed never to speak to their own children that way. That's an incredible, Incredible. I am telling you, such a beautiful story. My own story reflects that. My own upbringing speaks volumes to how I am today, how I treat other people, the words I use, the impact I have on one person. And it's all because of the words I speak early in the morning when I am by myself. And I ask for guidance for my instructions daily. How can I impact my community? How can I reach more people? This is why I started a communication school. This is why I also do a lot of charity work. This is why I contribute. This is why I do free workshops, zero charge, zero. Because there are people out there who need to learn to communicate at a higher level, with their partner, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, children, brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts, uncles, neighbors, people they come across that they will never encounter again. Communication is key. We need to communicate at a higher level. Every day, you have a choice. How do you do it? How do you communicate? Putting on your signal. You're going to turn right, turn left, communicates to the drivers on the road that you're getting in their lane or you're shifting lanes. That's why we have lights on our cars. That's why we have stoplights. It lets someone else know that you're slowing down or coming to a full stop. So we have so many different ways of communicating, yet some of us don't use them. Do you put on your turning signal when you are turning? Do you cut people off? I don't cut people off because even if I am in a hurry, me cutting someone off is like disrupting them. I can cause them to have a reaction, a negative reaction. I can cause an accident. So even if I'm in a hurry, I will wait to transfer from my lane to the other lane. Driving is a beautiful experience. Your communication is driving your goals, your mission. Let's communicate at a higher level. I encourage you to find a coach if you need to learn to communicate better. I encourage you to connect with me. Come to my website. Here's an email. You can send me an email. Let's get together. Sifu at speakingprowess.com. Speakingprowess.com is my website. Go there. Let's talk. Let's communicate. Bring me to your business. Not just me, bring anybody who teaches communication into your business so that they can teach you, your employees, how to communicate better with one another. It's not just about me. I want to enhance communication for everyone worldwide. That is my mission, to enhance communication, like I said, worldwide for everyone. Everyone. We all need to communicate at a much higher level. How are you communicating? Are you turning on your signal? Are you allowing other people to go ahead of you? Give them space to shine? Are you promoting other people? Can you promote me? Can you share this episode with someone who needs to learn to communicate better? Maybe somebody who needs to learn how to signal when they're driving. Maybe somebody who needs to learn how to talk better or at a higher level to their spouse, their loved ones, their children, their employees. Maybe your boss needs to listen to this. Maybe your colleague needs to listen to this episode. If you have, I will travel anywhere in the world to enhance communication. My goal is to have a communication school, Speaking Prowess, in every state in the US and globally. In every country, I want to have a communication center. In India, Pakistan, in China, in Europe. There's so many places. Yes, Italy, Germany, Spain, Switzerland, the UK. There may be different languages. There may be barriers, but communication can break those down. Communication can enhance our lives throughout. I would love to have an opportunity to help you in any way. If you're local to New York and you want to come to some of my free workshops, reach out. The more, the merrier. For me, communication has changed my life. It will change yours too. I was watching a football game yesterday, and it was the Bulls, or should I say, the Buffalo Bills. I should say, not the Bulls, the Buffalo Bills, right? And it was an incredible game. And they lost by 2 points, 42. 42 points, yet they still lost. It was a great game. But the coach for the other team, it was a California team, they won. But the coach was so angry with his players. I understand his emotion, but he was yelling at them. But there's a better way. I say there's a better way to communicate. You can show your emotions. You're like, oh my God, but he was so angry. And I said, wow, he's always yelling. So what I considered is he may get his point across, but what he's also doing is he's creating anxiety or this feeling inside that is negative inside his physical being. He's stressing his heart, his mind. There's a better way to communicate, a higher level of communication. I do not agree on the way some people show their anger, but I do agree we can get angry. We should get angry. We should get mad. We should get excited. And we can show our displeasure, but we should not hurt people in the process. Because when we hurt people, we're not using a higher level of communication. We're actually using the lowest level of communication when we hurt someone through our words. Everybody who listened to today's tip, I really want to thank you for being here. Normally, these tips are very short, 15, 20 minutes, but today, the importance of words, truly shape us. The way we use our words. Silence. Mm-mm-mm. Silence is such a powerful tool, yet we forget how to use it. When someone else is speaking, interrupting them stops their flow. It stops their flow. I teach communication and I teach people how to listen at a higher level. I have a course on listening. It's a great course. It's such a great course that I listen to it myself. And I learn from myself. But I can't learn when I'm talking. So silence is a beautiful thing because you can learn in silence. I am in silence, or I put myself in a silent state so often that I allow words to enter. That's why I'm reading so much, so that I can have those words impact me. I don't just read a book. I write a book while I'm reading a book. And that's a story for another time. I write a book while I'm reading a book. Think about that for a second. I write a book while I read a book. This is why I love reading. This is why I love reading. I encourage you to read more. If you have an excuse as to why you're not reading, I want you to evaluate that. Evaluate the excuse. I don't like reading. Man, woman, girl, boy, child. Reading is fun, the mental. It's fun and it's mental and it impacts your mind. And the reason I like writing when I'm reading is because now I take the thought that I had from the book and I write my own concept of it. I call that R&D, research and development. And that's how you can write your book. I'm not talking about plagiarism, not at all. But the thoughts that a book can give you are your own. So consider this. Write this down. Words matter. The next thing you should put on your paper, if you are writing it, my words matter. They matter to me. They matter to my family. They matter to my employees or my employer. They matter to my community. God bless everybody. Thank you for joining me today. Have yourself a blessed day. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Tomorrow, I want to talk about the impact family has. I hope you join me tomorrow. Have a beautiful and blessed rest of your day. Take care.